in office, we're being extremely open and honest about what we have and what we don't have. And what we do have right now is good information. Our office, along with the Intergovernmental Affairs Office of the county, the Wednesday before the House even approves it on Friday, we started vetting all of the recommendations. And what you see in the fact sheet is actually a short version of each of the programs and how they would benefit the individual business. What we'll be doing by this.
And Sandy, I just want to interrupt you briefly. Everyone does have a copy of that fact sheet. So that was
okay, great.
Information sent, just so you know.
Great, great. That's good to hear. We will also continuously be updating that fact sheet because we also want to make sure that on behalf of the state, our county and each of our cities understand the benefits that are also coming down the road. There's additional FEMA relief dollars. We got more economic development administrative dollars, EDA. There's a lot of block grant dollars that's being expanded, and there's creative ways for cities and the county to use those dollars that traditionally they couldn't. So we want folks to pay attention to the fact sheet, but similar to what the mayor spoke to earlier, we don't act as if we have all the answers. That's exactly why on a regular basis, we plan to bring those who should have the answers into the room. And our first workshop, as the mayor said, is going to be this upcoming Thursday at 10 a.m. And we're bringing Althea Harris, who represents District 4 of the SBA, into the room so she can share with our Broward business community some of the tips, some of the things we need to know while we're filing, some of the things that we need to know in terms of navigating that process. We're also doing the same thing with the SBDC. We don't want to forget that when this first started, no different than all of us as the business community who goes through the hurricane season, we normally start off with the economic injury disaster loan, which is the up to $50,000 minimum 2 employees for the bridge loan. That's why we're bringing in the SBDC. We want to make sure we're talking about not only that program, but even with what CARES Act just did, how that program is also extended. So the ideal of the fact sheet is so folks can have upfront information, and as we have these type of virtual workshops, you can ask the questions. Now, one of the tips we've already received that we're sharing with all small businesses, when you're doing the SBDC Bridge Loan app, when you're doing any one of the SBAs, the first recommendation right now is to do it early. Early in 2 versions. Not early as soon as you can get to it, but also early morning. We've already heard the horror stories about systems crashing. We've heard the horror stories about no one's picking up the phone, and this even includes on terms of the unemployment insurance. But these are some of the tips that we're getting that's also on our website that we're trying to share with all small businesses. One of the examples for the bridge loan that we are sharing, they were asking folks to draw down the application, take that old-fashioned number 2 pencil, complete that application as best you can, write down all the questions you have based on things you might not be able to answer or things you need to know. Then, instead of calling on the phone because they haven't been answering because the phones have been crowded, they have a link now set up where you can schedule a consult. So think about the ideal of I have my application, I'm 97% done, I got these 3 questions I need to ask, schedule your consult. So the SBDC is saying once they contact you for the consult, now you have a live person. Now you can engage that live person with your last 3 questions, and by the time the both of you are done, you can also go back in and submit your application. You want to take advantage of getting someone live as best you can. But as you can imagine, just like the unemployment insurance, it's one thing when you go through 1 week and you got 800, 1,200, or maybe even 3,000 applicants. Totally a different story when you got 67,000, 200,000, and close to 600,000 coming through. So those are the kind of tips that you will also see on our website every single day, broward.org/econdev. You will see those tips that we're also getting from the experts. Also on the website, it's extremely important that we share with all of our businesses, and the mayor has already shared that fact sheet with all of the cities. We also have the list of the SBA webinars. If someone was to ask me, Sandy, what's the most valuable to date in terms of information pertaining to the SBA, you can go to the website and some of us are smart enough to navigate ourselves through. But if not, if you need a little additional assistance, the SBA is hosting for our South Florida area 2 webinars a day to walk you through their programs. Those webinars also, I did it twice last week so that me and my staff could test it out. It takes about 35 minutes for the webinar, but they legitimately spend another 40 minutes to an hour just engaging in the Q&A. And that's the key. A lot of folks are going to have different questions based on different and unique situations of their business. We don't act as if, as an Office of Economic and Small Business Development, we have all those answers. But what we do want to make sure is we can put the people in front of you with those answers. So at the end of the day, on our website, again, is the list of the webinars for the remainder of this week. And we all might miss the one at 9 today, but there's another one at 1 o'clock today. But that link is on there, that phone number is on there. So we are encouraging folks to use those webinars as ways to get more information. Some of the questions you might have, someone else may have had the same question and asked it. But if nothing else, you want to be selfish in the regard that for you and your business, you need to know what's going to aid you. And the best way to do it is to use the resources that are laid out.